I read dozens and dozens of comments on my last video, and most of them were saying the same thing, that I was lying, that it was impossible for somebody who is low income to just pack up and leave America. But I'm here to tell you, not only is it very possible, and I know that because we did it, but that if you are living on a low income in the United States, if you are broke and you are struggling, maybe you should leave. For most of my adult life, my family has been living below the official federal poverty line in the United States. We were still able to leave.
Did you escape poverty in the U.S. by leaving America, too? Is this true? Is this the way to escape poverty, leave the U.S.? 700,000 people have watched her video, and most of those people now think all they gotta do is pack a bag and move to Thailand, and their financial woes will be over. Let's talk some common sense today. Hello and welcome to our Retire Early lifestyle. First off, we just want to say that we're not picking on this family. They just seem like a really nice family. We're just simply using them as an example of what people do when they move to these cheaper countries. So let's begin with the information. The idea that anyone can move to a cheap country, including those on a small income, needs to be buffered with the reality that it's becoming more difficult to find a country with a small or no income requirements threshold so that you can actually live there, not just visit as a tourist. Let's just get that out of the way. And remember, that's just the money part. There are other parts to consider, as we shall see. This particular couple that escaped poverty and moved to Thailand received a 5-year nomad visa, which they can renew after 5 years. To become eligible for the Thailand nomad visa, each applicant must show proof of long-standing and perpetual remote work online and at least $15,000 savings in a bank. Now remember that, long-standing and perpetual. Therefore, this couple had to show proof of at least $30,000 in a bank and job sources with pay stubs from both of them. So it's either $30,000 in the bank or $30,000 long-standing and perpetual income for both of them. So right off the bat, as you can see, there is much more to consider than just packing a bag and jetting off to Thailand. As you heard in the clip just a moment ago, the wife said they are low income and that they lived below the poverty line in the USA. And now, after moving to Thailand, they magically are living like kings. And they're telling you, if you are low income and are struggling, you should do the same. She said, I'm not selling you a dream. In a nutshell, this is a feel-good, look at us living like kings in Thailand video. These types of hyped-up propaganda videos are eagerly watched by those Americans barely earning a living, sitting behind an office cubicle, dreaming of tropical beaches and way cheaper lifestyles. Well, you can't blame them for that, right? But did you know there are several things going on in the background that are out of sight, out of mind? That means it is not talked about, and you don't know about it. Here goes. Enjoy the reality show. So while the woman states they escaped poverty in the USA by leaving the USA, they moved to a country that has much more poverty than the USA. The average worker makes between $6 to $10 a day, and the yearly salary is anywhere between $6,000 and $15,000, with $15,000 a year being the upper level pay scale for Thais. So when this couple goes out onto the street, they are surrounded by people that work their butts off for just a little bit of money each day. And they expect the rich people that move to their country to pay 2 to 3 times more for everything, okay? Now keep that in mind as we continue. $6,000 is the typical worker's wage in Thailand, such as a bank teller, secretary, or chef at a Thai restaurant. So essentially, what's happening here is droves. Well, that's what the media says. They say droves of foreigners are leaving expensive countries like the USA, Canada, and the UK and settling in very inexpensive countries like Thailand, where their money will go further. Did you know that Thailand just 7 years ago was a backpacker's paradise? Everything was so cheap, just like Laos is today. Thailand is no longer a backpacker's paradise. So we have to put ourselves in the local Thai shoes. This is something that most people fail to do because we're only thinking about what we can get, not what we're taking away. We get to live more affordable and learn about Thai culture and customs, but we will never fit into the culture. No matter how hard we try, we'll always feel out of place. We'll say things in videos like, oh, we love and respect the Thai culture. That's why we moved here. The Thai people are so friendly. And when we say these things in a video to the world, it appears like we're respecting the local people. And perhaps on a superficial level we are, but our actions speak differently. In the long run, our talk is cheap. As usual, there's more to it than meets the eye. Let me ask you a question. Are BlackRock, Bill Gates, and Blackstone respecting you when they buy up huge swaths of Americans' houses and farmland, causing demand and prices to skyrocket where the average working American like you can't afford housing anymore? Are they being respectful to you? Here are some more billionaires and companies helping to make your housing market skyrocket. So you think you have to leave your own country for a more affordable life. So apparently this couple claimed they escaped poverty by leaving America. Now I'm sure this family is very nice and they mean well. We're just reacting to what is in this video, okay? This woman states in her video, in no uncertain terms, that they earn below the poverty level income, according to the federal government's property level chart. That means this family of 3 earns less than $26,700 a year. That's what the chart shows for a family of 3, right? So 2 times the lady states they were living below the poverty line in the USA, according to this chart, and that's why they moved to Thailand. They're promoting on their YouTube channel that if you are low income, to move abroad to Thailand or other cheap country too. But again, financial thresholds are increasing along with more bureaucracy and headaches moving to a foreign country. But the truth is, and what many of these promoters don't tell you, not everyone makes it. There are many variables to this blanket statement, if you're poor, move abroad. It's actually a very reckless thing to say to the majority of people that are barely eking out a living in their home country. I started looking at some of their previous videos about a year back, and here is what their poverty line was like in the USA. They bought a 7-acre farm and turned it into an off-grid homestead in the USA, and by all accounts, it looks like they were doing quite well and enjoying the fruits of their labor. No rent, no mortgage. They clearly enjoyed this lifestyle. This family seemed to be quite industrious. So what happened to this family, and why did they feel they had to move abroad to escape being poor? They don't look poor to me. Horses, chickens, gardens, skills, industriousness. So again, what happened? One can only speculate because people never really tell you the real reasons of why they're doing something. But their channel obviously took off, and seeing how they could live off of just making videos is a very tempting reason to stop what you intended to do with your life and do a 180, which is exactly what this family did when they moved abroad. First of all, they must have sold their property because they had to prove they had at least $30,000 in savings in a bank to get the 5-year Thailand nomad visa. And usually people living below the poverty level, they don't have $30,000 or more saved up in a bank account. Heck, a lot of people who make $100,000 a year don't have $1,000 saved up, but they should. So they moved to Thailand, and instead of blending in with the people around them, and people do in the USA, whether your income level is $30,000 a year or $100,000 a year, everybody blends in. This family of 3 stands out as quote-unquote rich Americans and have made themselves a target for price gouging wherever they go. And there's been a lot of complaints from foreigners about the price gouging in Thailand, and they're leaving because it's getting too expensive. Now, this will be interesting when people of small means move abroad to live a more affordable lifestyle, and yet they are price targeted for more money wherever they go, including rent, hotel, food, restaurants, and attractions. So then we have to ask, is that okay with you? But it's okay to be constantly targeted, gringo taxed, and gouged because we escaped poverty back home. Now we can feel rich around a bunch of poor folks. Won't that be nice? They say that they are no longer worried about money now that they are living in Thailand. We'd like to know what they sold their 7-acre off-grid farm for. We're just saying, there is more to this story than meets the eye. Of course, they said they're never leaving Thailand, so that's why we know they sold that property. Plus, they have a thriving YouTube channel, okay? Now they have this beautiful home in Thailand.
So this is our screen that opens up into our first living room and our entertainment kitchen. We basically leave these big doors open all the time because we just like outside.
It is a huge home with 2 kitchens, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2 bonus rooms, and a meditation room, 2 living rooms, and a pool. It is situated on the grounds of a rice paddy farm. And they're so excited to tell you how much they pay for rent for this huge home that they forgot to tell you it is isolated from civilization. They pay just under $1,500 for rent. This is what a typical Thai makes in 3 to 5 months. Now, we're not picking on this family. They seem like really smart and friendly people. We're just using them as an example of what Americans do when they move to these cheaper countries. They gloat about their newfound lifestyle on videos. They brag about what they can get, not what they have taken away. And this rental house sits right in smack dab in the middle of rice paddy farm out in the middle of nowhere. They somehow wanted to replicate what they left back home. Now, you do remember what we said about so-called rich Americans living in isolation in these lower income countries, right? So not only is this family a price gouge target now, but they have made themselves a crime target as well by living in the countryside of Chiang Mai. Most foreigners that move to Chiang Mai live in high-rise apartment buildings with 24/7 security, just like this, when they move to Asia. It's safer and more affordable. In their latest video, they like to stress to their audience how low income they are while still being frugal living in Thailand. And relatively speaking, that may be true, but they are in Thailand now, not in the USA. So out of one side of their mouth, they state how frugal they're being, while according to Thai standards, They're living a very opulent life. Here they sit in their pool behind their 4,000 square foot luxury home, talking about how frugal they are. By the way, the couple said the house was listed for between $2,500 and $2,800 for rent a month, but they negotiated for the $1,440 a month. And so reality is they're living a majestic life in front of a bunch of poor rice paddy workers that earn for the whole year what they pay in rent in just 3 months. And unfortunately, living in luxury and being the farang does have its consequences. Imagine this family on a hot, humid day cooling off in their swimming pool while the Thai rice paddy staff trudge up a sweat in the rice paddy fields, working all day, and they see this foreign family enjoying a swimming pool in a mansion. Their castle sits right in the middle of rice paddies in total isolation where bad apples get wind of where the farangs live. And, well, you know, bad apples will do what they do best, and no one would even know what is going on. Imagine that. No, let's not imagine that. We hope nothing bad happens to this family and that they stay safe. But we have to stare reality in the face. You're not one of them. You're not a Thai living in luxury. You're a foreigner living in luxury. You're making yourself a potential target for a home invasion or robbery. And you better make sure your gates and windows are locked at night. But that's okay. You escaped poverty in the USA by moving in the countryside of Chiang Mai, Thailand. And now you will have a new set of problems. And that is everything we talk about on this channel. In addition, their income is now dependent on constantly promoting to others on videos how great their new lifestyle is. If that income ever falters for any reason, it's bye-bye lifestyle. So thanks for watching our videos and have a nice day. Take care and bye-bye.